Howdy, Ayebawl here, and welcome back to another episode of Factorio with Arumba's Angel Plus Bods mod pack. So after that biter attack, I go ahead and I had not too many turns, but one or two around the upper part of the base where they attacked. So if I recall correctly, this mod pack has a mod that makes the biters more smarter. They changed their pathing. They don't always attack the same thing. So I guess we'll see what happens. Well, anyways, back to setting up the more stable, permanent smelting area. I go ahead and I get the I think the brown one's bosmanium ore, and then the red ore setup. So I tear down the old temporary one and lay down the electric mining drills. And I gotta set up the filter inserters. Now I'm already running low on the iron plates. Every time I go back there to grab the iron, I'm essentially grabbing all of it. So that is an issue that I'm going to have to find a solution to. So I'm getting the ore sorters set up, getting rid of the slurry. It's not slurry yet. Slag. Getting rid of the slag, just storing it up. So make sure I get that stone turned into bricks. I'll need that. I'll need the bricks to turn into walls and the other furnaces and stuff. I go ahead and give the research like all the copper it's going to need for now, and I update the assembly machines to the Mark IIs. The buyers attacked again, so I go ahead and I set up some defenses down there. And it's time to start making some ammo. I don't think I have any. So I finally build my machine gun and my first piece of armor. So here I'm just testing out the boundaries, trying to find out where they're coming from. I find two nests, and then here in a second I head down south for a couple of squares. So it seems to be that I'm pretty lucky down south. There isn't anything, and to my east there's only 3 nests, so it should be pretty easy to take out. I don't think that they're going to be too much of a bother right now, so I just go back to building up the smelting area. I need to get the smelting area set up for the lead and the tin. So I get the tin set up, and then I get the lead set up, and then I start messing around with how the belts are coming out of the ore sorter. So cork turns into glass, and I don't remember offhand what the glass was used for. I believe it was only used for one thing. But other than that, raw quartz is what you were using to make this brown liquid for I think the third tier circuits, unless that's changed. So for now, I'm just going to store the quartz as is, and the nickel from the red raw deposit, that I'm just going to end up storing the nickel. Because the nickel, I believe you need spheric acid to turn to nickel plate, and I just don't have any spheric acid right now. So, and that doesn't take a furnace. I think it takes a chemical processing plant. So both of those are just going to get stored, so I can get the nickel and the lead out. So I finally set down my my radar, and I put up kind of like a mini defense tower, just 2 turrets and a sniper. Hopefully that radar kind of draws the biters in there, but with their new smarter AI, that may change. So it's time for me to start moving all that temporary stuff down to the main bus line. I also take this opportunity to upgrade all the power poles. Well, it seems to be that the biters also took the opportunity to attack my mining area. So it took me off by surprise and wasn't really prepared for it. But I was able to fight them back. Like the whole base just shut down right now while I'm trying to update all these power poles. So I take this opportunity to finally go take care of those bases. I didn't do such a good job. I'm so used to having autofill, where as soon as you put down a turret, then the turret will be loaded up with like 5 or 10 magazines. It's a lot slower when you have to load the turrets yourself. And they also took the opportunity to destroy my mines again. But I believe that'll be the last we see of them. Or at least until my pollution reaches out there. So I'll go ahead and build a second radar down in the south to see what's going on down there. I'm going to have to eventually, sometime soon, set up railroads and start laying out some tracks somewhere. So I thought it was time to go ahead and update the power again to the Mark IIs. The ratio for the Mark IIs, I'm going to use 10 boilers to 10 steam engines. I don't know what the correct ratio is, that's just what I'm going to try it first. Hopefully the coal isn't a resource commodity that I'm going to need later on, because as of right now I'm basically dumping all the coal into power and just completely wasting it. May have to. It's going to be a while before I get to solar power. So I got the Mark IIs as the first three, and I don't have enough steel to just make everything. So I'm just gonna do the stages. I got the leftover Mark I's as the bottom row right now, and then eventually when I get enough steel, I'll replace those. So I grab all the iron plate and I use it to increase the. I just drop a stack into each of those steel furnaces, trying to get some more steel out. So I was checking the temperature and I was like, well, this row was doing like 90% temperature, and the row below it was doing 70, and had exact same setup. So that was weird. So I deleted the pipes and replaced the pipes, and the row that had a temperature of 70 all of a sudden jumped to 90, just like the other one. So I don't know if that was a bug or not, but that was kind of weird. So right now I was going through the menu, checking out all the added buildings to see what exactly has changed. And I saw this and wasn't quite sure what it was. I'll have to look into it. Checking out the nanobots, and I saw that they had the kind of the constructor ones. So I thought it was pretty close to creating robots. So I went ahead and got the engines being made. But when I went to go do the electric engines, it turns out that those weren't even researched yet. And I was a lot more behind than I thought. So I go up here and reload the science. And I'm just so out of iron plate. So I figured I'll go ahead and update the yellow belt to red belt and add a couple more drills to see if I can fill up that line. But I'm going to have to come up with a secondary solution to this low output of iron plate. I'm just going to need a lot more of it. Well, that takes care of it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Go ahead and give that subscribe button some love, and I will see y'all next time.